going to be working on this today. We're going to do a heater core in this 01 Dodge Ram. My buddy Will. Pretty simple. The dashes on these are really easy to pull out. Okay, tools you're going to need are, you're going to need a 5/16, 10 millimeter, a 13 millimeter, a Phillips, and some sort of cutting tool. I'm going to use a rotary one, only because it's easier in the tight places. The heater core that I have is this one from, I think it's Spectra. It has the swivel tops. There are two main ways you can replace this heater core. The first one is the correct way, which is sliding it through the firewall. The other one is a mod or shortcut way of cutting the heater core tubes on the new one at the same spot you did on the old one, and splicing the new and the old pipes together with rubber heater hose and some hose clamps. I'm going to try to do it the correct way without cutting the new one to pieces, but we'll see what happens. The bolt hole locations are across the top. You've got one there. You've got one on the same location on the other side, and those are hidden behind these kick panels, which are easy to pop out. The other ones you have are under here. You got 1, 2, 3. This drops down, and then there are two 10 millimeter bolts that hold the steering column up, and then the dash should swing out of the way. I will show you where I get when I get to there. I forgot about 2 screws down here. There's also, I think, a bolt behind that panel. The other thing I want to mention is make sure you disconnect your gear shift selector here so you don't break that brittle plastic. You should be good to go after that. Alright, we're going to remove these 2 screws here. Okay, then there should be just those 2 on each end, and it looks to be like those are 10 millimeter again. So hold on. Is it going to be easy to remove those, or is it going to be easy to remove the 2 above it?
Disconnect here, these can disconnect right here.
Right, because there's a wire connector there that runs into that. What are those ones below that too?
These?
Oh, those are the ones you're pulling, alright.
Yeah, there's a connector right here.
Is there a nut on the back of that, or?
Yeah.
Is it not spinning?
No.
Okay. Yeah, just move those. We'll just disconnect the connector right there. Still be recording. Alright, the only thing we have left to do is disconnect that wire connector right there, and this whole dash should pop up out of the way. Alrighty, we'll get back to you in a minute. Alright, so we had to disconnect a few things. Disconnected this one. There is the heater controls that I disconnected. But in pulling this dash back, which we used just a ratchet strap up to there, this heater core's already been replaced once, and the one way that I was going to teach you how to do it, which is the one with the heater the hose clamps, has already been done. I'm going to take a look and see if maybe this heater core isn't bad, that those clamps just came loose, because that could be the case. But I will let you know when I investigate that a little more. Alrighty, more info. Get back to you when I have more. Alright, after looking at the old heater core, it wasn't leaking through here. You can see where the leak is, and it was just draining down the whole side. So this core was definitely bad. This being a new heater core, you can just see the quality of parts anymore today. They just suck. I mean, this heater core can't be that old, and it failed. I know the heater core that was in my Nova, it lasted 35 years. Just, they don't make shit like they used to. Alright, we're going to put the new heater core in. We're going to try to do it the right way first, and then if I can't get it in the right way, then I'll just put it in this way. Alright, talk to you later. I'm going to show you how to put this in the right way without using the hose clamps. It's not that hard. I don't know why many people have so many issues with this. I just did it 3 times just to make sure I knew how to do it without a hitch. Alright, it is a little bit of a struggle, but it's nowhere near as hard as people were making it out to be. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. You get them about where they need to be. Wedge this in here. Like I said, you get these down about where they need to be. The hardest part is getting these to freaking getting the holes where they belong. But even that's not that difficult. Bam. She's in and ready to roll. See, I don't understand. It'd probably take me longer to cut these new holes. To cut those new holes there than it is to hook that up. Alrighty. I'll be back later when I have this dash back in. Alright, as we clean up for the day, the hoses are in here. I still don't have them hooked up because I am waiting on the thermostat and gasket to get here, which goes down in that mess. I'm waiting for that to get here so I can flush the system out again, because I still have this nasty brown fucking shit in here, and I want to get most of that out as I can before it goes into that new core. But dash is back in. Everything's back in. But that's how you do a heater core. It's fucking simple on this truck. I have more of an issue on my TA and my Nova than I did on this thing, and people complain about this thing. It was so fucking easy. I mean, I didn't have to do that to it. I didn't have to cut it. I mean, probably would have had to cut the original one out if it wasn't those swivel hoses, but with those swivel lines, I didn't need to cut it. Little finagling and it went right in. So, whoever, I mean, I'm sure that's a great, easy fix, but the time that it would have taken to cut that, I could have had the new one in already. So, I don't know. You do it the way you want. The only step that I didn't show was cutting the original one out because it was already cut. If I have to replace this again, I won't have to cut that other one out to get it out. But yeah, I know if this was an original heater core in this truck, I would have had to snip it here. Otherwise, I would have had to move that whole case. But with these swivel heads, you don't need to. So, I don't know if I'll include the thermostat in this video when I upload it, but that's how you replace a heater core. That's simple.